Hey, what's going on everyone? Matthew from therighttrader.com back again with another cryptocurrency video. Today we're going to talk about Solana, which is currently at a potential 600% gain back to its all-time high at around $250. We're going to talk about that. Is it possible or not for a full recovery? Could we even go higher after that? Everything will be covered in this video, so make sure to smash that like button and subscribe for more videos like this. We've got a bunch of interesting indicators on the technical side of things. We can see bottoming out and support on the RSI. We also have the MACD, which has now started to flatten out and is just about to make a crossover soon, as well as on the histogram. So a lot of bullish signs there. And then of course the Solana token itself has now started to show signs of life again. It is currently in the top 10 biggest coins with a market cap of $13 billion. And of course, it has fallen 85% from its all-time high. This does allow it to have a lot of room to go back towards the upside now. And that's one of the main things we're going to be covering in this video. And of course, as per usual, if you're interested in buying Solana tokens or investing in Solana, Binance is the way to go. It's the best exchange. I use it myself. I'll leave a link to Binance in the description of this video. It has the most volume, which typically means the best prices as well. Solana is currently sitting at $37. It has bounced a bit this week, actually. In the last 7 days, you can see the bounce here bottoming out at $32. Now we're up to $37. I actually bought right around $33. I bought some Solana just because it was so cheap, and I'm glad I did. So we'll see if this bounce holds or not in the shorter term, but regardless, I think that, you know, these current price levels are ridiculous when looking at the longer term picture and the potential for recovery here. We also have other players in the space that are seeing this type of value right now for Solana. This article right here, 3 reasons why Solana can repeat Ethereum's 2018 Fractal to 5,000% gains, right? These are ridiculous amounts of gains. That means you put in $1,000, you make $50,000. And we're going to talk about this article here because there are some very good points mentioned. Now, you can see the tweet here mentioning that ETH did a 60x from the 2018 lows, despite many people calling for it to hit zero, right? And if Solana drops to $15, a potential 50x is in the cards, whilst people call it to drop to zero. So basically, as people are expecting it to, you know, disappear and get destroyed, that's typically when the peak bottom is being hit, and then, you know, it ends up also short squeezing everybody out of it, causing this type of massive gain. Now, of course, we're not certain that this is going to happen, right? But there is a very good logic to why Solana could mimic Ethereum's massive price move. In fact, even in the past, during this initial run up back here, right, this was very similar to Ethereum's first run up. So now we're seeing the first big pullback ever for Solana. However, more recently, we're starting to find a lot of bottoming price action now. After reaching $25, you know, that seemed to have been a bit of a peak bottom. That was also in line with this previous support level back here. And for this reason, right, we're starting to see the price actually, you know, uptrend again. So back here, right, during this little attempt at a bottom, we could see we were still actually, even as we tried finding support, we were actually trending lower still. And yes, we got a pump, but it didn't last, right? And however, this time around, you look at it, it's much different. We're actually going more towards an uptrend now on this bottom formation. So I am much more optimistic on this bottom formation holding. And on top of that, we're starting to see some signs of the Bollinger Band starting to flatten out. These things allow for more support to be built around this level to then eventually get us that move to back to the all-time highs and above as well. In fact, if we go ahead and pull out the calculator here, now I will say, right, this post there that was calling for a 5,000% gain mentioned that Solana could possibly drop to $15 before finding the peak bottom, right? So if we go ahead and look at the price right now and do some math, you know, $15 times 50, which is the 5,000% gain, that brings us to $750, right? So it's actually not that unreasonable of a price target. And of course, those gains get cut a little bit if we're starting from this $37 price point. But you know, I have said before, now I have also been quite bearish in the past at certain moments on Solana. I will admit that, especially during all its outages that it had in this downtrend period, right? I was not happy with that whatsoever. But as this post also says, you can see that Solana has a vibrant developer ecosystem and its downtime issues are solvable. This will be obvious in retrospect, so it's important to not get too bearish either and miss the amazing opportunity that's kind of being shown right now. You know, Solana does have a lot of institutional interest. You can see it being one of the main coins that institutional investors poured their funds into, and that is that key amount of fund inflows that we're seeing go into Solana. Its NFT game is very strong, and of course it has cheaper fees than Ethereum. So there are still fundamental wins for Solana that we don't see with other chains, and there are also other bits of interesting news, such as Coinbase actually adding support for Solana and Polygon as well. So right now, apart from Ethereum, the only two other network that they added support for, right, for transactions for USDC, ETH, etc., is Matic, so Polygon and Solana, right? And also, mind you, Solana is the only layer 1 chain that they added support for. Matic is, of course, a layer 2 solution to Ethereum, so there's a little bit of a difference there, but it's important to mention that Solana is their first ever chain, apart from Ethereum, that they added support for, right? So that is a big deal there. Of course, they say that over time they'll add support for more tokens and more networks, but still, right, this is a big deal, and I'm sure people will be using this as well. Now, there are still concerns with Solana, right? We know about its network outages. They also experienced a class action lawsuit that claims that Solana is an unregistered security. We're seeing this happen with many proof of stake coins, so we're not sure exactly you know, what's going to happen with that, but you need to be careful about these things as well, right? So just wanted to mention this to not be biased in any type of way. Of course, we are still seeing the successful side of the Solana chain, which is, you know, its huge amount of transactions per second, over 3,000, its total amount of transactions in its lifetime, and also the average cost of transaction, which is sub pennies, right? So a lot of bullish things also on the fundamental side for Solana. Nothing has changed there, and we have indeed seen a lot of people support their NFTs. Now, we also have this very interesting bit of news that I saw today, which was that there's going to be a Solana phone, right? So just like an iPhone, there's going to be some type of Solana phone. There's not too much details about this, so it's still pretty secretive, so to say, as of right now, right? We don't exactly know what the use case is going to be for this, you know, what is fully intended with it. I believe it's called Saga. So just an interesting bit of news that kind of plays along with, you know, it seems like their bigger plan maybe with Solana that we might not know all the details of yet, but as they say here, it was always programmed in, right? So they actually had this, it's literally built off of the Solana logo. They've had this plan for a while. No one knew about it, of course, but this is just an interesting bit of bullish news that I'm sure, you know, Solana being at some lows here, once people get word of this, and if this becomes a big deal, you know, that could really push Solana above the previous all-time highs, right? Because this is not something that we had back then. And of course, right now, Solana is still at that massive discount price drop. So this is the time where people are going to be really thinking about the fundamentals and analyzing, is this a chain that's going to last or not? And of course, you know, I personally think it is, right? I think that Solana is not a perfect chain. It's had its outages, it's had its issues. With that being said, is it going to be a chain that's probably going to remain a big competitor to Ethereum in terms of NFTs, etc., and probably a top 10 cryptocurrency possibly forever? Yes, it is probably going to be one of the more likely coins to be that type of competitor. And for that reason, right, I don't think that we should be ignoring it. Also a coin that has a lot of 24-hour volume, so this is a coin that's very used in terms of NFTs, DeFi, etc. Still, even in this bear market. If we go to DeFi Llama and we look at the TVL here, we can see right below $3 billion in TVL. You can see which protocols are the biggest or the smallest, but we can see a lot of money coming in, back in, I should say, to the bigger protocols there on Solana. Just going to be interesting to see how it played out, right? We're still at about a 4x of kind of the lower TVL numbers that we were seeing before the run up. But keep in mind, right, this was a $15 billion chain in terms of TVL. So I'd like to see this go back up above $10 billion. It really should be, considering how big of a chain it is. So that is something that I would like to see. In terms of the fundamentals and price target, right, we talked about this $750 price target. That's of course with a $15 bottom and then doing a 50x from there, which could happen, right? So basically the price would fall by basically a little bit more than half from where we're currently at. But keep in mind that I've said before that Solana could be a $1,500 cryptocurrency, right? So in an event like that, where it's a $1,500 cryptocurrency, basically being a multi-$100 billion chain, you know, we still have tremendous upside even from this $37 price level, right? I mean, this is something that could 10, 20, 30x in the coming decade if things go to plan. And yes, right, we talked about that potential downside that we could see, right, if we see a pullback to the lower levels, like as low as $15 or so. So that would be about a 56% drop. But keep in mind, you know, what is the real risk there? We've already fallen so much that at this point, like I said, I've started to dollar cost into this because I don't want to miss out on the move back to the highs, right? We're talking about a 600% move higher, and potentially more if we go even above that, right? So that is something to also keep in mind there, is, you know, the potential for going even past the previous all-time high, which pushed us well above a 1000% gain. With that being said, this is my analysis of Solana. If you enjoyed this video, please make sure to hit that like button and subscribe. Also, check out my Twitter for live cryptocurrency updates, and follow my technical analysis master course, link in the description, less than $20, and comes with a 30-day money-back guarantee if you're interested in learning technical analysis. And with that being said, that's it for this video. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Have a great day, everyone. Stay safe.